Still with me. You are tenacious, my friend. I respect that. I respect that. And I'm excited to keep going. Okay, so we have our trigger set up. This is good. Now we can move on to connecting our first module. So what I want you to do is always save, even when I'm not saving. Never forget to save. If you close that tab and you didn't save, it's gone. It's not coming back. Remember, this is a browser. It's not software on your computer that's taking snapshots. It's a browser. It's not taking snapshots, unfortunately. You will lose your data. So save, save, save. And after you save, you want to hit this plus button. And this is a big deal because we're going to actually bring in our AI agents. So you want to move down to advanced AI, this beautiful new feature, new and shiny. And from here, we want to have an AI agent. Okay. This AI agent essentially is going to be different than a lot of the other nodes that you work with in N8N or have in the past, because notice how it's not just a one function node with an input, some parameters, and an output that's connected to a service or a webhook. This actually is for tools and for building an AI agent system. So it comes with 4 connections. You have the connection for the brain or the chat model or LLM, the memory, the tool, and then that output. Where is it going to? What's it going to do with this information? Or once it's done with its action. All right. So bearing that in mind, let's look at chat model in this lesson. Chat model is what connects the LLM, the large language model. Large language models, they're basically what powers all of this AI agentic flow. ChatGPT works off a large language model. It's artificial intelligence that generates human language, essentially. And it uses a combination of deep learning, the transformers, which are incredible, these vast data sets, basically everything on the internet and more, and then all sorts of special key characteristics, each one that's out there, from DeepSeek to OpenAI to Gemini, Perplexity. They all have their special versatilities, right? But think of the LLMs as, in terms of NLP, natural language processing, a way to generate human-like text. They produce coherent and contextually, very important word, context, contextually relevant responses to your prompts, right? To what we type in. I'm sure you've used ChatGPT by now, or you wouldn't be in this course. So an AI agent is not going to do very much intelligently if it doesn't have a brain, right? That's the fun Dorothy version of what I just said. So you want to click on this plus button under chat model. And here we have lots of different seamless integrations. This is basically handling all the code for us. All we have to do is select the one we want. We got Anthropic, which is amazing. Google Gemini. You can make your own if it's not there, but we're going to use OpenAI. Not make your own LLM. I mean, you could do that, but I mean, connect your own service. So here, it's the same process as before. We need to connect the credential. I already have my credential, but you're going to have to create a new credential. And this time it's a lot more simple, because thank the heavens it's not Facebook. All we really need is the API key. Now, where do we get the API key? I'm going to close this for a second. To get your API key, you have to go into the developer version of OpenAI, just like we went into the developer version of Facebook. And the URL is platform as the base. So platform.openai.com. You want to basically set up your account. It's not the same as ChatGPT, right? This is the API section of it. So you want to put in your email, make an account, pause the video, and once you do that, you're going to be logged in to the portal for developers. And if you click on settings on the top right, you're going to see that you can access now on the left an API keys. And you want to click on that. And I have a bunch of keys here. You want to, from here, basically create a new secret key. You can name it so you remember it. So name it something like WhatsApp bot key. It's up to you, but it's good to do that. Create the secret key, copy it on your clipboard, save it. Do not share it ever with anybody. All right. Make sure in your billing, by the way, because you're going to get paid. You're going to have to pay every time it gets called. If it's a new account, I think you get a couple of free ones, but after that, you're going to be charged. So you can add like $4 or $5, a couple bucks. So you have plenty. I got $10 in here. That's so many calls, all right? But it's good to have that topped up if you want to add a few bucks into it. I still think you're going to get more than enough free ones if you're doing this for the first time. But copy that API, then head back over here to our N8N, and you want to create that new credential, paste in the API, click save. I'm not going to do that because I already have mine, and you should be connected. All right, beautiful. Let's save this. And oops, I want to make sure that I have my credential here. Okay, and we'll run save. And you should see no errors in terms of access credentials. Beautiful. And that's it, guys. Much more simpler than our Facebook escapades. We now have connected from our AI agents tool the OpenAI chat model brain. And by the way, I should mention the model to select. It's going to give you a default model. There's different models that operate with various parameters, which means that they can move faster if they're compressed, or they'll take more time if you're using them. And it's pros and cons. You'll get a better response if you're working with more weights and values than less. So the mini version is going to be faster, but it won't be as good as 4. But 4 is really fast. I would switch it to 4, and we can keep it like that for now. We don't have to overcomplicate that aspect of the various types of models. That's good for now. Click save, guys. Easy win. Now we've hooked up the business side and the developer side of our trigger from WhatsApp, and we have a brain in our agent. We now need to hook up some memory, and from there we can move on forward to hooking up the rest of the business and developer side, because there is more to do to really get the flow working. We'll see you in the next lesson. Bye-bye.